This was a segment, and going into the Elimination Chamber, I couldn't believe that, you know, this was gonna main event. By the time the men's Elimination Chamber match happened and we hadn't seen this segment, I said, if this is main eventing, this is gonna be massive. Something sensational has to happen. And my God, something sensational happened. John Cena is a heel. We have waited 15 to 20 years for this moment. And in his final run, in his farewell tour, his retirement tour, they are giving us heel John Cena. Jade Cargill returned and took her revenge on who may have taken her out. Bianca Belair wins the Women's Elimination Chamber, setting up herself for WrestleMania and that Women's World Title match, whilst Cena makes a big statement, winning the Men's Elimination Chamber match and turning heel on Cody Rhodes and seemingly aligning with The Rock. We're going to talk about all that and more on today's episode. Guys, what an Elimination Chamber that was. That was an amazing PLE. From top to bottom, there wasn't any like real rubbish on that. Like, it was just such a really good card. And I'm just really going to kind of go through and review the big segment, the big main event at the end, but I'll just kind of go through and touch on the other main parts that happened on the show and the implications around it. I won't deep dive into a whole review because, to be very honest with you, I am half asleep. It's been a struggle to watch that and try to get on with my day, get a bit of a sleep in and then come back out, but I definitely wanted to bring you guys a review today. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So like I said in the opening, the Women's Elimination Chamber, it was won by Bianca Belair, which was absolutely fantastic. An amazing performance from her. But the Women's Elimination Chamber, it started with like a jump scare. Like, it was such an effective beginning to a PLE after all the women had entered the ring and Liv Morgan and Naomi were about to start the match. You saw Jade Cargill's music hit. The Elimination Chamber wasn't quite closed yet. Liv Morgan and Naomi were both in the ring, almost selling like she's back sort of thing. And Liv Morgan, I guess from her point of view, was, I hope Jade doesn't come after me. I hope Jade doesn't think that I took her out. And Naomi, very suspicious in her behavior, looking back at Bianca Belair, who was in the pod behind her, like, oh my God, like, it wasn't like celebration, like our girl's back. It was almost like, what's she doing here sort of thing. So maybe they both had a part to play in this, but Jade Cargill came in before the elimination door was closed. She made a beeline straight for Naomi and she absolutely wrecked Naomi. It was so good. Like, it was shades of AEW Jade Cargill when she was a heel character and just very forceful, aggressive, dominant. Like, she absolutely beat Naomi around that chamber from the ring to the outside, throwing her into the pod. And as Naomi was trying to escape out of the chamber is when you saw Jade grab the chamber door and absolutely smash Naomi's head in between the chamber door and the chamber. So that was it. Jade walked out, eliminated Naomi from competing in the chamber. They announced that, and then Bianca Belair was allowed out of her pod because she had to now start the match. And like I said, I thought that, oh, can she still win? Like, her mental can't be all here after just seeing this. But Bianca Belair is John Cena, and Bianca Belair got the job done. And like I said, top to bottom, really good Elimination Chamber match from the women. I think for me, Roxanne Perez, like, I can't stop saying great things about this lady. She's absolutely fantastic in everything she does. So smooth, so crisp, just ready for these big nights and these big events. Like, she's just so ready for it. And yeah, again, another top performance from her. Liv Morgan was probably the MVP of the entire chamber match. She was very good in everything she done. Had like a kind of like her own feud going on, if you like, with Bianca Belair's braid, and just didn't want to let go of it. But as everyone does, you pull the braid, you learn the hard way, and the whip heard around the world, like an absolutely crazy whip that Bianca Belair gave her with the braid. Like I said, man, Bianca Belair won the match. Like, it was a really good chamber match, a really good way to set us on the way for the show, especially with that opening from Jade. Bianca wins. Bianca goes back out to the entranceway. Rhea Ripley's waiting in the entranceway, and you know, these two, they're so fond of each other. I can see it every time they come face to face because of their history in NXT with one another, in terms of just coming through the PC at the same time, you know. And I think it's almost like an age gap thing. Like, you know, Bianca might even see Rhea as a little sister, be a mother figure to Rhea, somewhat. Like they really have a really close connection, and this is the match a lot of us have been waiting for: Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Io Sky made her presence felt as well. Io Sky, of course, has the women's world title match against Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw, so that should be a lot of fun, and we'll see if there's any implications on will Io Sky find herself in the WrestleMania match for the women's world title, or will it just be a clean finish? Rhea beats Io and we go on to have Rhea versus Bianca at Mania. I don't even know what I really want, because I feel like the Bianca and Rhea story should be told over a longer period than 6 weeks. So I kind of just want Io in there because Io's great as well. So yeah, I don't know if I really want this big match like right now without a main event and etc etc. So I want to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comments. Let me know if you want the match, you know, as a singles or a triple threat for those ladies. But yeah, great Elimination Chamber match. Bianca Belair wins the Women's Elimination Chamber. We move on to probably the quote-unquote weakest match on the night, like a bit of a nothing match. WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, she was teamed up with the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton, and they took on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Decent match. There's not much more to say apart from this was a bit of a exhibition, you know, hey, Trish is in town, Toronto pop, Canada pop, like it was that really. So I won't spend too long on this. Very decent match from all the women involved. Very interesting in terms of the placement to have two women's matches back to back sort of thing, but it was fine. We saw a prettiest moonsault ever from the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton onto Nia Jax, pinned her. Match was done. No Charlotte, no nothing. I guess it puts a nail in the coffin in the relationship between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. She's finally kind of vanquished her, and now Tiffany really needs to get her head screwed on going up against Charlotte. I don't feel like so far they've told that story well, but hey, apparently the road to WrestleMania begins now, so maybe they can, you know, repair what they haven't done with that Tiffany and Charlotte program, and we can get to work on it, and it can, you know, dish up some good stuff going into Mania. Next up, we had the unsanctioned match, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is, you know, Canada's greatest sons going up against each other, a story told across many independent promotion all the way into the WWE, from NXT level to main roster, and we were telling this story one more time. And you know what, this was a really good unsanctioned match. Now, if you've come to watch this match from a AEW lights out unsanctioned match perspective, then you'll probably be quite disappointed. They carried out this unsanctioned match in a very WWE-esque way. You know, it wasn't overly violent and brutal, but you know, it was as kind of rough and tough as it gets for a WWE match, if you see what I mean. WWE tried some new bits here in terms of, you know, vanquishing all responsibility, which they announced at the beginning of this match, which they often do in AEW, which I thought was a nice touch. After both men made the entrances, again, they made it clear that the referee is literally just here to count the pin, or if someone gives up, or, you know, that's it. They have no other role, and the referee wasn't wearing a referee top. The referee was just wearing a black t-shirt, you know. So yeah, that was pretty well done from a visual point of view. They dimmed the lights down low and let them wrestle like basically under a spotlight sort of thing. For me, it was okay. I don't have any issue with that. Like, I'm watching at home sort of thing, so I'm not affected. It'll be nice to hear, you know, if anyone was live in attendance, what that felt like to kind of watch this match happen under like a spotlight and not, you know, all the lights in the arena, in the stadium as per. But yeah, this was a good match. They built structures. They went through tables inside the ring, outside the ring. There was a barbed wire wrapped chair, which I doubted the credibility of it at one point during the match, because it wasn't showing up any signs of violence on the human being it was being hit on. But you know, it's WWE. There was tables smashed outside the ring. Like I say, they brawled into the crowd where the crowd were and everything, and smashed some more tables there. It was a very good match. You know, it was very fun between the two of them, and I just love their chemistry, because you can really see they wholeheartedly put each other their body and everything in each other's hands. Like they can trust each other, if you see what I mean. So yeah, it was really good to kind of just see this match play out. And Kevin Owens, as he always does, he has to take it to another level. The power bomb on the apron that has, you know, in real life, in kayfabe, stopped so many guys, and he delivered two to Sami Zayn, where, you know, at this time the producers are all around, security was all around, and all of this kind of stuff, medics and everything. But it was those two power bombs on the apron, you know, put Sami Zayn to rest, if you like, and he pinned Sami Zayn. And just when you thought it was done and Sami Zayn was, you know, just being taken out and maybe Kevin Owens wanted to inflict more damage, Randy Orton returned. He makes his triumphant return to WWE after months of being off TV, after that first initial power driver that Kevin Owens delivered that, you know, started writing people off TV one by one. Randy Orton suffered the very first one. Randy Orton looked great, by the way. Obviously, for the last few months, he's been glorifying all this extra timber that he's put on. He looks like he's shredding a bit, which is good. We can't be glorifying being out of shape sort of thing. Although Randy Orton always looked great, even when he was kind of putting on the weight. But yeah, he hit Kevin Owens with an RKO, and Kevin Owens was in a great position for a punt, which Randy Orton realized and looked like he was going to go through and hit Kevin Owens with the punt kick. But a great piece of camera work. The producers and, you know, medics and everyone just saved Kevin Owens from it, and Randy Orton didn't hit it. But it left security in the ring, and with nothing more to do with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton RKO'd all of the remaining security guards, which was fun. Randy Orton pointed to the WrestleMania sign, and listen, I think we all know that they were heading for a Kevin Owens, Randy Orton WrestleMania match, which is great. Don't know where it leaves Sami Zayn. Of course, people have said Karrion Kross. I like Karrion Kross, and I think everyone knows I like Karrion Kross, and I get some crap for liking Karrion Kross, but that's not the WrestleMania match that if I'm Sami Zayn, I'll be into. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for those lads, you know, going forward for the next 6 weeks, getting ready for Mania. But good, very good, really good unsanctioned match in a WWE way. The last match on the card was the men's Elimination Chamber. John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre vying for that opportunity to take on Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. This was a big match with some big names, big players in this match. However, it just didn't work out for some people, and I think we knew who it was really going to whittle down to, but the likes of Drew McIntyre vanquished first from this match was absolutely shocking. I loved the bit of drama from him where he looked up at the WrestleMania sign like, I've lost my last opportunity. If you guys remember back some years when Seth Rollins, when he kept looking to find a way to get to WrestleMania, and eventually Vince gave him the match which turned out to be against Cody Rhodes, like that was the look that Drew McIntyre had on his face, like this was my last opportunity to make it to Mania sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, within that finish, they told a bit of a story with him and Damian, which I'm sure we all kind of assume that will be Drew McIntyre's match, him versus Damian Priest at Mania. But yeah, it was interesting. Logan Paul was booed out of the building. The fans were swearing, and funny enough, they were kind of bleeping out the fans swearing, which was interesting for what we got later on in the night. And Logan Paul was out of there. Drew McIntyre, that I mentioned as well, was out of there. And then, you know, Damian Priest was out of there. Not necessarily in that order, but those three went. And then for me, this match started because I thought Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and John Cena were doing fantastic work in that ring. Seth Rollins, the energy that he was bringing to this, you know, Seth Rollins was someone that I scrutinized after the Royal Rumble, where he was basically like to Punk, ha, you didn't win. But it's like, bro, you didn't win either, sort of thing. But he actually actively tried to win this match. Like, he was so good, brought the real energy amongst obviously elder statesmen in the ring that he was with. Like, I feel like Rollins, he's just on another level. Like, he was really good. Unfortunately, he found himself unsuccessful and was next eliminated in this. And then from switching from that and the desperation, and also trying to win and get his spot at WrestleMania, but also the desperation of CM Punk not winning and getting that main event. Like, it was like two-pronged things that was going on in his mind. We saw as the match continued, when he was no longer part of it, how he was screaming into the chamber, die, 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 to CM Punk, when CM Punk was in the STF by John Cena. And John Cena gets the big win. John Cena made CM Punk pass out in the STF, and John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. John Cena goes on to face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania. It's penned, it's booked, it was happening. Pyro goes off, the celebrations begin, the crowd pops, like all of that happened. They raised the chamber, and John Cena's celebrations were still going on. Then we get to the actual main event segment, where Cody Rhodes is now coming out in a same kind of fashion how Rhea Ripley came out when Bianca Belair won. John Cena's in the ring, and Cody Rhodes comes out and, you know, salutes him. The guys shake hands and, you know, dap it up and, you know, understand that this is the Mania match. It's a massive Mania match, even without any other shenanigans that followed. Like, Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title is a massive Mania match. But that is not all we got. So, of course, with Cody Rhodes coming out now, it brought out The Rock. And not just The Rock, it brought out The Rock and Travis Scott, which initially, I can't lie, I was like, why is he here? What does he add to this sort of thing? He looks like it's almost like a bodyguard that is smaller than, you know, who you're guarding, i.e. The Rock. Like, it's almost like a manager for The Rock. Like, I just don't feel like this was the best placement. This is how I felt initially anyway. I didn't feel like it was the best placement. The Rock and Travis Scott make their way down to the ring, and we know what time it is. The Rock tells Cody Rhodes, it's time. You have to tell me, you know, are you with me or not? I want you to have all of this stuff. There's so much more that you can do. All that kind of spiel that he gave on SmackDown. And Cody Rhodes starts his chat by saying, you know, I want it all, Rock. I want it all. And he went on to then say, I don't have my soul anymore. I lost my soul. I've given up my soul. But then he spins it and says, I've given my soul to this ring, to the people, blah, blah, blah. The crowd goes massive because that's as good as a no, that I'm not joining you, Rock. But it wasn't enough for Cody Rhodes. It wasn't enough for WWE. He had to punctuate it, and my God, did he punctuate it. Rock, go fuck yourself. How can he say that? I couldn't believe it. Like, for me, this was the main event. Like, it could have ended here. It could have ended here. John Cena was like, wow, in the back and stuff. Travis Scott was here, you know, burning sage. He couldn't believe it. The Rock's face was like startled. Like, the crowd was like, oh my God. Like, this was a moment in itself. This could have broken numbers on YouTube and stuff in itself. They did not censor this, but they censored like every other kind of swear word and stuff that was said on the show. This was a massive moment in itself. Rock, go fuck yourself. And Cody turned to John Cena and they embraced. And as John Cena looked over the shoulder as Cody Rhodes, whilst the embrace was happening, he caught the eye of the final boss, who gave it one of these. The throat slit, and John Cena came out of the hug, low-blowed Cody Rhodes. John Cena has taken the side of The Rock. He is now the corporate guy, corporate Cena. Like, crazy, crazy scenes. And like I said just last week, this was the move. It had to be the move. I'm dating this back to, you know, the Royal Rumble press conference. After 23 years, I deserve to be in that chamber. I'm not qualifying. It's best for business that I'm in the chamber. It's best for business that I main event WrestleMania. I said, don't let those words go to waste. This is a heel promo. And my God, it turned out to be a heel promo. It turned out to be a heel turn. And John Cena, he laid the boots into Cody Rhodes. Takes off Cody Rhodes' Rolex. Uses it as like knuckle dusters. He's smashing Cody Rhodes in the face with the Rolex. Smashes his head with the microphone. Smashes his head with the undisputed WWE Championship. Travis Scott gets a slap in for good measure. The Rock removes the weight belt and starts beating Cody Rhodes with the weight belt. Cody Rhodes is busted open at this point. They strip him of his waistcoat and his shirt, his tie, everything like that. Even Michael Cole drops an S-bomb on commentary. Is somebody gonna stop this shit? This was a segment, and going into the Elimination Chamber, I couldn't believe that, you know, this was gonna main event sort of thing. By the time the men's match came on, and by the time the men's Elimination Chamber match happened, and we hadn't seen this segment, I said, if this is main eventing, this is gonna be massive. Something massive, something sensational has to happen. And my God, something sensational happened. John Cena is a heel. We have waited 15 to 20 years for this moment. And in his final run, in his farewell tour, his retirement tour, they are giving us heel John Cena. It's mental. It's absolutely mental how this happened, this turn of events, like, and how it played out. And it's so good. And now the road to WrestleMania is here. Now it feels like Mania has started. Kudos to the WWE. They had us when we thought that they don't know what's happening. These guys clearly have their ear to the ground, and they're watching Twitter, and they're watching the socials and watching what people are saying, and they understand how to control it. And Triple H basically said that in the press conference, you know, you had to be a bit patient. Mania is a bit later on this year. We have to plan out the road. Does it feel like WrestleMania season now? Yes, it does. It does. It flipping does. What a show. What an absolute show. They may struggle to have a better PLE this year than Elimination Chamber, because that was brilliant and punctuated in such an effective way. I'm here for it, man. Let's go. And I want to hear from you guys. What did you think of Elimination Chamber? The turn from John Cena at the end. The win by John Cena in the chamber. The win of Bianca Belair. Let's talk about it down below in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, but I'll wrap it up there. Head into the comments. Let's hear what you have to say. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name's Mex. I make videos on WWE and AEW. So if that sounds like something for you, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified every single time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.